Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna share some news that I released a pattern, and also I have a yarn haul because I went to Folklore. But I took a break last week from knitting podcast, so I have some news to share. I also wanted to start off with telling you that I'm wearing my Rota Sweater, which is in testing right now. So this is a compound raglan sweater design, and if you have seen my Rota cardigan, this is the sweater version of that pattern. It has some modifications because I wanted to make the raglan really, nice fitting. So it has a compound raglan shaping, which means that you increase at different rates throughout the raglan. Because when you grade raglan patterns, it's hard to do it so it fits all sizes over a huge amount of size range, because if you want to go from the neck stitches amount, the amount of stitches in the neck, to the amount of stitches for the full bust, and you have a larger size, it is a very long raglan seam, which might be in some cases what you want, but some cases it might not be the look that you're going for. This has an S shape to it, so you increase more frequently at the start, and then you have a regular raglan increase for a bit, and then you increase a few more on the body than on the sleeves at the end as well. So this creates a very nice shape and also a nice depth for the raglan. So this is out at the end of April. So the testing is going right now, and it's going really well. One of the testers actually already finished her sweater, and it looks beautiful. And I'm so excited to see all the Rota sweaters coming to life. But yeah, so it's what I'm wearing. And this yarn is Ullcentrum Öland, which is it's like my hyper focus yarn right now. So I'm knitting, I have knitted this one in their yarn, and I'm also knitting 2 other projects in their yarn right now, which I'm going to show you at the end. But I also wanted to tell you that I released a sweater last week, a sweater pattern that was actually first released in a book, which I'm going to get so I can show you. This sweater, which is called Urd Sweater. It was released this fall in the Laine Nordic Knits magazine, which I was so honored to be a part of. So this is the pictures from the book, and I haven't photographed my own sample for myself yet, so I added these pictures to the pattern. But it is available as an individual purchase right now on my Ravelry page, so you can buy this. And this is knit in Lättlopi. Okay, so the colorway is Rust Heather 9427 and Barley 1419, which is my favorite combo. I made my Vitra sweater in this color combo as well. And I love it so much. But I'm gonna meet up with my photographer and friend Susanne in a couple of weeks, so we will take some photos of this one, and I will upgrade the pattern, so if you buy it you will get the new photos as well. But yeah, so this is a round yoke sweater with color work and some half Latvian braids, or 1/2 Latvian braid, and some purling in the color work. Yeah, and this is my sample, as I told you, but I haven't really weaved in the ends yet. because I haven't been wearing it because it was a secret. So, but the sample for the book, or the Laine Nordic Knits book, my friend Alex actually made. So she has that now, because obviously she got it after they were done with it. But yeah, so this is my Urd Sweater, and I'm really happy with this design. I'm really loving the half Latvian braid that you can see here. This one, and I also love the color work. It's a design that I made not last summer, but the summer before that. I think. Yeah, I think I made like a swatch when we were visiting my brother's cabin, and then I just sent that to Laine Publishing, and they suggested that I would be a part of the Laine Nordic Knits, which is, of course, very, very nice to be a part of. So yeah, you can find that at my Ravelry store, as I said. Okay, so that's my finish. These are my two finished objects. I'm working on a few different other things, but I haven't made progress on that because I have been focusing on another pattern, and that is this little half mitten. So this is Eostre mittens. And if you listen to my podcast on Patreon, you will know that I talked about Easter and Ostara, which is coming up. So next week on the 20th of March, it is the Ostara celebration, and Ostara comes from the goddess, the Germanic, do you say that? Germanic goddess of Eostre, which has, she has influenced this time of year. And I wanted to start this Wheel of the Year design thing. So I'm designing a pattern for every Wheel of the Year celebration. So this first one is Ostara. We had in bulk, but I'm gonna start now, and then I'm gonna go a year. And then at the end of it, I'm thinking about maybe publishing it as a ebook or something. And of course, added information, not just the patterns, but information and other things, and maybe some recipes and some things. So yeah, but this is my Eostre mittens, and I really love this design. I really love the slip stitch together with the purl stitch, and then this braid in the middle, and the thumb is increased in the middle and then just parted for. So you can have your phone if you want to, if it's cold but not that cold anymore. It's a good transition piece, and you can also knit. I'm thinking that this will be good for walking and knitting now before it gets warm again, because we got snow last night. Not a lot, but some snow, so it's really cold. But this will be a great transition piece, and I'm working on the second one. So this is blocked already, but I haven't woven in the ends, and I'm already written the pattern, and it's been tested, so it's in the works, and it's releasing on March 20th. But I will tell you about that if you follow me on Instagram or on Patreon. I will tell you all about that when it's time. And these patterns in this collection won't be available for free for Patreons as my other patterns, because I'm not going to do that. So if you want to buy them, you can find them on my Patreon store or in my Ravelry store. This is so fun to knit. And I actually, I'm on the thumb gusset on this mitten. So I'm gonna try to, because I won't see Susanne, my photographer friend, before next week, so I'm gonna have to try to take some nice photos for myself, which is always a bit of a challenge, especially when you're used to having photos like professionally photographed. So when I started that pair of mittens, I did that over the weekend. I also saw that design in other things, other items of clothing. So I'm also making a shawl, and this is the swatch for that shawl. And yeah, I just made a swatch to see if it would lay flat and be nice and everything, and also the increases and everything. And I really enjoyed this swatch, so I cast on this shawl, and I just can't really stop working on it because it's so much fun. And it will block out, as you see here, it will block out. This is actually the same yarn, but this is the washed one is a bit brighter. And this is the Tweed collection. Sorry, this mittens yarn is Ullcentrum 2-ply in their Tweed collection. And I think the color name might be Mandel, like almond, but I can't remember, so I will write it in the show notes. But this is also the Tweed collection, but this is a 3-ply, and it's called Kalksten. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying knitting on this one. I haven't made a cabled project other than my Urd sweater and t-shirt, but I haven't made like an all-over cabled project for my own bride. I have done it for the book, but not like released on my own, so I'm very excited about this one. And I have 3 skeins, so 300 grams. I'm thinking that I'm gonna knit them all up, but let's see how big it gets, because I really want it to be wide and large. Yeah, I really enjoy like wide shawls, so I'm gonna block it aggressively at the end so it lays flat and gets a bit wider. But this is called my Eostre shawl, and it will be available for test knitting when I have finished it, because I really want to have the yarn weights and everything, and just block it so I can take some beautiful photos for the test knitters. But yeah, so that is the things that I've been working on the last couple of days. It's currently Wednesday, and I started the mittens on Sunday, I think. So yeah, it's really fun, and I'm looking forward to starting this I'm not gonna call it the Wheel of the Year series. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it yet. If you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to take them. So I'm gonna post, to be clear, I'm gonna post or release the patterns individually, so you can buy them one by one throughout the year. But I'm also at the end of the year, so early 2026, I will make an ebook of it, and collect all the patterns in the same book, and also add some texts and recipes and things. So that is my plan. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so we're gonna start on my yarn haul. I also have one fabric as well, which I might have shown you this in the last video. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna show you anyway. But we're gonna start with the 2 yarns that I showed you in the projects that I have here, because I got them on Fårfest in Kiel. So this is the shawl yarn. I have 3 of these. So one has been knitted, and I have 2 of them left. And this is a 3-ply Swedish wool yarn from Ullcentrum Öland, and it's 200 meters on 100 grams. And I'm knitting on 4mm needles, but this is 5, so it's a wide range of gauge you can get out of this yarn, and it's so soft. It's very soft and almost buttery, because it's just so, yeah, it's very nice. And it is a gray yarn, but with a warm tone to it. So the color is Kalksten, I don't know what that translates to, but I will write it here. But yeah, it's a kind of stone, so it looks like a stone actually, a stone color. But yeah, so it's a warm gray-ish yarn. So I got 3 of those, and then I got this this skein, which I have I wound up just enough to have for the mittens because I wanted it to be in a skein. I'm very cautious about winding up all yarn because it's just, I'd rather have skeins laying around than balls of yarn because I think this looks better. But yeah, so this is the Ullcentrum Öland 2-ply, their tweed collection, and I think the colorway is Mandel. Yeah, I'm quite certain of it. But yeah, so that's what I'm knitting the Eostre mittens in. Really enjoying that color right now, together with this brown that I'm wearing. So this is also the tweed collection, but this is Espresso colorway. So yeah, I really enjoyed those. I was at the Öland Ullcentrum, like their shop at Forfesten, almost every break I had, just to walk around and be inspired and look at all the beautiful yarns. So the next thing that I got is some Sårk from Gotland Spinneri, and if you know my Valkyria cardigan, that is the yarn that I used for that cardigan, and I got the chocolate brown colorway, and this is just an amazing color. It's a chocolate brown. It's kind of similar to my Rota Sweater. I might have a brown obsession right now, but yeah. So I made a swatch. I wound some of the yarn, and I made a swatch, and I'm thinking about making a vest out of this because I think it would be really nice to have a vest in Sårk because it's quite warm, but also I think it would be beautiful in some cables or structure or something. But it's also, I don't want to make it too small of a structure, if you know what I mean. You know, I want it to be a bigger braid or some lace or something because it disappears in this yarn as well. So I have to be cautious about that. I'm really enjoying this colorway. It's beautiful. So that is Sårk from Gotland Spinneri. Then I got some yarn to make a smaller project from. So I got these 2 from Tant Kofta. She is a Swedish yarn dyer and she has beautiful yarns. I bought a sweater quantity also, but this is 2 skeins of the thinner yarn. So this is, let's see here, this is Spelsau Lammull, and it's 100% Norwegian wool and 175 meters of 50 grams. Yeah, so, and I thought these colors would be really nice for like a pair of mittens or something. Yeah. I haven't made that much in green lately, but I really love green on me. Yeah. And I really like the low contrast, same color vibe on mittens. Okay. So the last skeins of yarn that I got from Folklore was also from Tant Kofta, and it's her Strikkegarn, which is a Norwegian wool yarn, and she dyes it her own. She dyes it by herself. And this is so soft. I had this thought that this yarn would be really scratchy by some, I don't know why I thought that, but this is really soft. It has a beautiful aura, and the colorway is just magical. And I debated for a long time if I should get another color because I have things in this color, but it's also my favorite colorway. So really looking forward to knit this up. And this is going to be a cabled sweater for fall. I haven't decided on the design yet, but I know that I have this idea. I've had this idea for years that I want to make a rust colored cabled sweater with cables all over. And this is it. This is the yarn for that one. I'm so excited. Feels really nice to have a sweater's quantity at last in that yarn, because I know some of my friends, I have a friend called Sanna, which is Sanna Stickar on Instagram. She really loves that yarn. She knitted a few sweaters in that yarn now actually, and she really loves it, so I've been wanting to try it. And then the week before I was at Forfesten, I was at Syhantverksfestivalen in Stockholm with my mum, and I didn't get any yarn because it's more of like sewing and quilting and things on that festival. But I got some fabric because Korps, they have a physical shop in 2.5 hours away from here maybe. But I've never been, but I buy all my linen fabrics from there and also my wool fabrics. And I got this because this was pre-cut, and it was like, just laying there, and I got obsessed. So it's this fabric, which is a wool fabric. Some of it is recycled wool, and I think it's 2 meters. Yeah, it's 2 meters, and the width is 140. So I got a lot of fabric. But yeah, so I really love this. It's a rusty red and pinkish color. And I made a pair of pants out of this fabric, but another colorway. It must be 7 years or more ago I made that pair of pants, and I still wear them, and I haven't mended them once. I have a small hole on the knee, but that was because I fell. One time, so it has nothing to do with the fabric. So I think that was everything that I wanted to talk about today. It's a bit of a shorter episode because I didn't want to go in on all my knitted projects because I'm saving that for the big episode at the end of the month. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let you know that I might be shifting my newsletter from Squarespace to Patreon, because I really want to gather my channels, or how to say, I just want to have, because I feel a bit scattered right now. So I have both my Instagram and YouTube, Patreon, and Substack, and also Squarespace. So I'm not using my website for other than my online courses, and I have a store and also newsletters. But if you can also become a free member on my Patreon, and then you get the notifications that I send you. So I can send for all the I can send a post to all the free members, including the paying members. So it's the same kind of thing. And I also debating to moving my online courses over to Patreon, because you can do that, and you can buy the online courses as easily, or maybe even easier. I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. It might be a change that I'm making. If you have any thoughts about it, you can comment down below just to discuss things. I always appreciate to be able to discuss things before I make changes. But it would be nice to have one less platform, and have, and have Patreon as my main focus. because that's something that I really want to focus on during the year. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that. But if you want to join my Patreon, you can join as a free member, and then I post sometimes free things. But you can also sign up to the tiers, and they have different perks to them. I have a audio podcast that I release every month, and I talk about the changing seasons and crafting, my crafting experience through the seasons, because it changes, of course. And I also talk about the Wheel of the Year. And then I have a extra video every month on my Patreon, the second tier, I think. Yeah, and in the third tier you get all the other things as well, of course, but you also get my new patterns, not the Wheel of the Year patterns, but my other patterns. They are included in that tier. So you get a downloadable PDF over there. So yeah, that's what you can do on my Patreon. And I also wanted to tell you that I'm posting on Substack more, because I really enjoy that community and I really enjoy that app. It's nice that it's more focused on writing, and I try to write things that has to do with my interest in historical textiles, ancient crafts, and different things, thoughts that I have when reading my books that I'm obsessed with at the moment. And it could be about textile history, or women history, or women's work, or the intangible heritage is something that I really value to talk about more, because it's so important, and I talk about that more on my Substack. But yeah, so that's the things that I'm sharing right now. And of course Instagram is one of my main channels that I use a lot. But yeah, so that's about it. I just wanted to update you a bit and let you know my thoughts. But I will now leave you to it, and I hope that you had a nice cozy time with me. I really enjoy making these weekly videos because it means that I can talk to you more. So I just wanted to end with a note about video games, because I know that many people who knit also play video games. So me and Robin play video games together when we find, a co-op game. And it was actually last weekend, that Split Fiction was released, and it's a co-op game where you can play together. It's really fun. And it's about two women writing. One of them is writing science fiction, and the other one is writing fantasy stories. And then they get kind of like a letter from a publisher saying that if you come, we will sign you and you will get your book published. But then it gets messy and they end up in the same, like, augmented reality. Would you say it's augmented? What do you say? Augmented reality? AR for them? Virtual reality.
I guess.
Yeah, so they have to go back and forth in their different worlds that they have created through writing, and it's really fun. And it's a really you said that it was a really good level, Robin? Yeah, for both experienced players and not experienced players. So it's easy to play together if you want to do that, and you're not maybe on equal grounds when it comes to video games. But yeah, so we are really enjoying that one. If you played any video games that has like a craft theme to it that isn't Unravel, please let me know in the comments, because we really love Unravel. It's our favorite co-op game. And it's sad that there won't be more of them. So let me know if you have any tips on that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you had a cozy time with me today, and I hope to see you in my next video.